So hello everyone watching this. My name's Louis. I'm a newly graduated, I guess I wouldn't call myself a physician associate student anymore. I've just graduated, but I'm not yet a qualified physician associate because I am currently sitting my national examination. So I'm in this weird limbo place. I'm not entirely sure how I describe myself, but a recent graduate is probably what you need to know. And I think what I wanted to discuss today is, I guess I'd maybe describe it as the hidden or a hidden element of physician associate training, be that the masters, the PG DIP, or I know that there's now an undergraduate program coming out now. So however you're undergoing your PA training, or if you're considering starting a career into PAs, into physician associates, then I just want to talk a little bit about something that I picked up along the way, and was extremely helpful for me. And since speaking to lots of other of my colleagues and my peers and my friends, it's something that I know affected them as well. So really I wanted to talk about kind of mental well-being, and I use well-being instead of the word mental health. Mental health gets spoken about a lot nowadays, and I really want to specifically talk about how you to go through the PA course. You're going to hear a lot about how intense it is and how hard it is, and how you have to completely give up your life to study, and how you can't have a social life, and all of these very scary things. Now, I can't sit here and tell you that they're not true, because a lot of them are fairly accurate, and anyone considering this line of work and this study needs to know that before they go in, so that they go in with the knowledge and it's not completely a surprise. And you'll hear that from lots of different areas before you start the course. So what I'm here to talk about really is what happens when that doesn't kind of work. You know, when you're giving the course everything you've got and you still feel like you're behind, and you still feel like you can't move any further. And the reason I want to talk about that is because that's what happened to me. My first term of my first year, I was so excited. I'd been wanting to study to be a PA for 3-4 years. I've been saving for the entire time. Me and my fiance had arranged our lives so that I could do it and she could support me, and it was this whole big thing, and I was so excited to get going and start, and I just went at it with everything I had. And I struggled. I really struggled. I was going to lectures and I wasn't understanding things, and I was going home and I was looking at this list of things that I had to learn, and I was barely scratching the surface, but I was trying my hardest. I was kind of giving everything that I had to. I'd stopped. I love sport. It's what I do. I used to play football and various things, and I'd stopped doing that completely because I thought all you can do is study. And I got to a point maybe about 3-4 months in where I was unsure whether I could carry on going. Not because I was worried about failing. I thought failing was inevitable. I just wasn't sure that I could physically do it anymore, because I was so kind of high on my level of anxiety and stress, and I couldn't eat, and I just felt really sick all the time. And crazily enough, in hindsight, I spoke to lots of other people, and everyone else felt like this as well. At some point, everyone felt like this at some point, and I thought it was just me. Which is one of the reasons I wanted to say this now to anyone who wants to do this ahead of time. To know that that's kind of expected in a really weird way, because they're trying to cram such a large amount of content into such a small space of time. Unless you're a certified genius, I don't know how you can go through the course without at some point feeling like it's just too much and it's actually impossible, and actually the university made a mistake by allowing you to come in because it's just not possible, and actually everyone else is doing it and everyone else is fine, but it's just you that is struggling. At least that's exactly how I felt. And it turns out it just wasn't true. Everyone else felt that same way as well. And it was only afterwards that I found that out. And it would have been so helpful at the time had I been clever enough, smart enough, brave enough to kind of reach out at the time and say, I'm really struggling. How does everyone else feel? So my point of this is to is to go, yes, absolutely the course is tough and you need to be prepared to study and be disciplined and sacrifice and all of that. But anyone watching this video will know that already because they're already here. So my point is to go, well, when that it doesn't work, or when it feels like it's not working, because it is working, it just feels like it's not. All you need to do is keep going. And that might look a bit different to how you might think. So keeping going for me then was, I just had to stop. I had to stop studying for like a day and just calm down. I got to the point where, because I was so excited and like anxious about everything, I was looking at books and I was doing all of those things and I was in lectures, but nothing was going in, right? Someone much cleverer than me came with, I said this to them and they gave me this analogy, and they said that it was almost like I was trying to pour water onto a patch of dirt that had been baked by the sun for years, right? And it was completely cracked and dry and the water was just running off, right? It wasn't going in. That was my brain. Let's say that the study is, or even my anxiety was the sun baking my brain. And I was trying to pour water, more learning into it, and it just wasn't going in. So let's carry on with the metaphor, right? Until I tend to the soil and make it nice and fertile and make it able to take in water, there's literally no point. I can pour as much water as I want onto the dry earth. It's just going to roll off. And that's what I was doing. I was closing myself off to be able to study while trying so hard to get more and more information, and because I was so anxious and so stressed and so sort of taken in by this idea that I want to be really good, I want to be a great clinician, I want to be a good student, I want to pass really well, and I want to be a PA, which I think is what you will have, and that's great, don't lose that. But just allow yourself to get there at the pace that you can get there. You know, we can only go so fast, and the PA course will find the fastest you can go. And you don't have to worry about that, because you will to keep up, you will just go as fast as you can. But when you find your limit, that's brilliant, actually. It's okay, because then you know the level at which you can keep going, but not tip over too much that you close everything off and you close your mind down to not be able to take in anything else. And what really helped me was that knowing that it's actually essential. It was completely essential for me to take the time, not study for a day, hang out with people that that could look after me, and get my mind in a better place, so that when I started to pour on the water, when I started to take in information, it actually went somewhere and it didn't just bounce off my sort of completely closed off mind. So this is really meant to be a reassuring video, that this will probably happen, and I don't mean that in a scary way, because you'll know it, but just when it does, one, don't think that you're doing anything wrong. This happens to all of us. Two, try not to panic too much, and I get that that's easy for me sitting here saying that, but it's okay, take a minute, breathe, calm down. You are actually exactly where you need to be, because, as I said before, this course will find everyone's limit, and when you get to yours, it's how you respond. So great that you've got there. Now take a breath, go back to doing the things that you love, maybe that you stopped doing because you needed to find more time to study. Go and run, go and read, go and meditate, spend time with people that care about you, do whatever you need to do. Get back to the place that you can take in information, look after yourself, right? We get taught in basic life support, and even when the airplane is going to crash, put on your own oxygen mask first, right? You know, when you go to approach someone who's on the floor, is there any danger? Are you going to be safe first? It's the same with studying, right? You have to be the first priority, because if you're not, it doesn't matter what you learn. It doesn't matter the subject matter. You won't be able to take it in because you will be unable to do anything with it. So essentially, yeah, if you're watching this and you're gonna go ahead with this course, I wish you the best of luck. It is a fantastic course and it's so worth it, and I can say that now that I'm at the end of it, it is worth it. You do come out with just an absolute wealth of knowledge. Nowhere near what you'll go on to learn, because medicine is just enormous, right? And you know, you may be as silly as I was and thought that I could know all of it and lots really early on, and you get humbled very quickly, and you learn that's just not possible, and that's actually really helpful. Then you don't have to try and learn everything. You can just try and learn enough, right? And I don't mean that in a slacking off way. That just won't happen. You won't be allowed to do it. So yeah, I wish you the best of luck. When these moments come, when these tough moments come, let them breathe. Let them pass. They will pass. They will pass. And there will be the moments that you look back on at the end of all of this, and there'll be the moments that you become hugely grateful for, because they've turned you into the person you are today, the clinician you are today, and they are the reason you have the knowledge and the skills that you will have at the end of all of this. And you will get there. And yes, there's the person who's watching this that's going, but what about me? He must not mean me. No, I exactly mean you. You will get there. Good luck. Thank you.